Yo, what's up, folks? Today's video is sponsored by Mystery Tackle Box. You guys know they've been supporting my channel for a very long time. So make sure you check out the description box of this video and you'll get your first box at Mystery Tackle Box using my discount code for as little as 10 bucks. Today's video is actually going to be a product review. I don't think I've ever did like a straight up just product review. Just going to check out the Googan Revolver. Pretty cool top water bait. See what y'all think about it. All right, y'all, I got a new bait that we're gonna try today from Googan. This, lock us down here. It's a new bait from Googan called the Revolver, new top water bait. Right here in the south, it's starting to feel a lot like springtime. You're starting to already see the pollen, birds are chirping, it's sunny, it's like 75, 80 degrees today. So a lot of people, you know, you don't really start thinking about top water this time of the year, but it's about time to start thinking about it, because what'll happen is when it warms up like this, fish start to spin really high in the water column, and they'll just hang really high to where you can't really catch them on anything else. You can't catch them on soft flats, can't catch them on shaky hair, wherever you like to throw. Only thing you can throw that stays over in the strike zone the longest is the top water. So this is the new Googan Revolver. I'm curious to see how this thing, what it's gonna work like, because there's been nobody really to kind of perfect this bait. There's the Whopper Plopper is obviously the inspiration behind this. You can see there's also been the Berkeley Chapo that's come along. So now we have 3 options to choose from when it comes to these prop style baits. But this one's a lot different than the Plopper and the Chapo, in my opinion. Just from looks of it, I think I like it. I already like it a lot better. I honestly haven't thrown this bait yet, right? Just got out of the pack. It's a pretty cool color. I'm not sure what the color is. I'll leave a link in the description box where you guys can pick up this new bait called the Revolver from Googan. You know, on the traditional plopper, the prop is at the back, and you just wind it, and the prop, you know, spins. You guys know what a plopper looks like. But on the Revolver, it's in the middle of the bait. So I think that's going to change the sound. Something that's interesting about that to me, one of the things I noticed right off the bat when I started playing with this bait, you hear that there's a little squeak. Right. When you spin it, it squeaks. It's real loose. I like that. That's going to give it a different sound right off the bat. So there's like 2 or 3 things that I look for in a prop style bait like this. Sound. How consistent is the sound? How well does it cast? How good is my hookup ratio going to be? That's the important things for me on this bait. So I'm going to take it out, cast it around, tell you what I think about it as I fish it a little bit. Not necessarily going to make this a fishing video, because it is still a little bit cool. The water is like 50 degrees. So do I think we'll catch them on top water? Not yet, but it's coming in a couple days. So when we do get some of that mid-50s, upper 50 water, I'm going to have my baits already ready to go and know which one's the best ones to choose. I know a lot of people are probably going to have questions about, you know, where to fish the bait, how is it best, when to use it. We actually did a video back on this. I'll leave a link in the description box of, you know, like my whopper plopper setup, or my this is a revolver or plopper style bait setup. When I'm using it on today, 20-pound test fluorocarbon, straight king fluorocarbon. This is a 7.3 medium heavy power rod, and I've got it on an 8:3 to 1 gear ratio Lew's Pro TI. This is a favorite 6-stick. You guys know my favorite line in the favorite lineup is the favorite 6-stick. So 7.3 6-stick and Lew's Pro TI 8.3 to 1 gear ratio reel. Rod is fairly soft. Treble hooks, that's the reason why. It's not, you know, it's not super spongy, but you can see it. It's a little, you know, I can bungee him down. It's a little bungee-ish, right? So you don't want something super stiff with a bait like this with treble hooks. Fluorocarbon, just because treble hooks again, it works just fine. I know you're probably thinking it's top water, doesn't fluorocarbon sink? Well, you're putting it in motion, so the impact is not nearly as drastic if you had like a popper style bait. You saw it, all the B-roll that you saw in this video, that was on this setup right here. That was me actually fishing it on 20-pound test fluorocarbon. So yeah, you can fish it on that, but I'd have to admit braid is probably your best overall. The fast gear ratio Lew's reel, that's just because most of the time I'm casting this bait out and I'm reeling the boat to it. I'm trying to cover a lot of water. Plopper style baits are great for covering a lot of water. So I'm gonna use a fast reel just so I'm not, you know, working myself, pencil sharpening myself to death every day, every cast when I'm making it. So a faster reel, you know, I can kind of get in the comfort zone, get in a good pace, and just bring it back to the boat. Pretty impressed. I've been fishing it for about an hour and a half now. A couple things that I noticed: as soon as my first cast in the water, I go to throw it out, it does engage pretty fast, which is a plus. It's not worse than when you throw your plopper out, sinks, hits the water, sinks under, comes back up, and then, you know, it takes a while for the prop to engage. When you use this one, when you throw it out there, when you start to turn the reel handle, it starts to plop immediately. Or revolve, I guess I should say, since this is the revolver. But the biggest thing that I noticed that I wasn't expecting from this bait is when I throw it out, when I start reeling it back, is I can reel it really slow and still get that good, I don't know what you would name that sound. Excuse my French, to me it sounds like a farting sound, like a kind of moist fart. Sorry kids, but that's what it sounds like to me. But it's got that sound to it at a lower speed than all of the other like popping or revolving style top waters. Plopper, let's just call it what it is. Other plopper style baits, because that's what this is. You know, it's an evolution of the plopper style bait. It gets that sound at a lower pace. You feel more resistance, so it pulls slower. So when I throw it around a laydown, or if I throw it down a bluff wall, I can get the noise out of it at a slower pace. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes that that might be bad. Just depends on the scenario. But you definitely can hold it in place a lot longer. Cast very well. That's real important for me, because a lot of times, especially on this lake, I'm out here on Smith right now, you got a lot of bluff walls, and bluffs are something that you want to cover a lot of water on pretty quickly. And with this bait, it does, you can throw it a long ways. I even got it on fluorocarbon. If you had it on braid, you can throw it further. I don't know what hooks that Googan puts in this bait, but they're pretty good. These are good hooks, man. They're real tacky. I mean, you can see I mean, they're very, very tacky hooks, which that's, I don't know why a company would make a bait and then not put the best hooks available on it. So the hooks are good. I really like the sound. You get that squeak. I was a little bit worried about the prop being on the front. This is not an actual fishing video. I just wanted to see what the bait works like. I'll be interested to see what the hookup ratio is like when when I actually get to fish this. You do have more hooks towards the rear of the bait, which typically that's where fish kind of slash and thrash at the bait, is near the rear of the bait, because it's moving in motion. They usually come up behind it most of the time. So I'll be interested to see, because on a typical plopper, the hook is more up here in this midsection, but both hooks are at the back third. It'd be cool if you could put just one more hook on that thing, and I'm sure you could. Watch David Dilley videos. I think he has a way of putting a third hook on there. But I'm pretty impressed with the hooks, impressed with the sound, impressed with the castability, and it's consistent. It's a good, let me put this in place here. It's a good consistent sound. Colors are a big deal when you're talking about topwater, because there's so many different scenarios that you may want to use a bait like this on. Bluff walls, laydowns. Sometimes it's clear water. Sometimes it's not clear water. Sometimes it's fairly stained water or muddy water. So you need you need good colors. This is, I mean, you look at that. The detail on the paint job here is pretty daggum good on this guy. So you get good. I don't know what they call this. It's sort of like a ghost shad or ghost gill or something like that. It looks really good. I was pretty impressed with the way the bait looks. That's always a big deal with topwaters, because this is a visual bait, right? Obviously you get some sound characteristics out as well, but you get, it's mostly visual. Good job, Googan. Y'all killed it on this one. Revolver, I'm pretty impressed with it. You guys try it out and let me know what you think about it. I was pretty impressed with how it works, how it sounds, how it casts, how it looks. I'm just waiting for topwater season to come around so I'll have a place to fish it.